Jessica, there is plenty for Macron and Merkel to talk about today, there isn't?
Yes, absolutely. The French and German leaders will, of course, be facing the issues and challenges facing Europe. Macron really, of course, on a drive at the moment to push for his plans of greater European integration. This, of course, as the UK plans to leave the European Union, and Brexit will be certainly on the agenda today, but also in the face of the resistance from nationalist and populist leaders within Europe. And he really is hoping to get Angela Merkel on side for his plans. Well, since Macron took office, Angela Merkel has pledged some cautious support for Macron's far-reaching plans for economic and political integration to Europe. But really from the German side, we've seen quite them really sort of dragging their heels. And certainly there's resistance from Angela Merkel's Conservative Party and German industry leaders to some of Macron's more ambitious economic reforms plans he has for Europe. But certainly this is something that they will be discussing today. And also, of course, the issue of migration will critically be on the agenda. The leader of Hungary, Viktor Orban, and Italy's Interior Minister Matteo Salvini both recently calling Macron an opponent on the issue of migration. There are really clear fault lines being drawn in Europe at the moment for leaders that are for a more accessible and fair migration policy for Europe and those who are staunchly against migration. And Macron really needs Angela Merkel on his side for this ahead of a summit in Salzburg on the 20th of September where migration is going to be one of the key issues.
Now, Jessica, both Macron and Merkel are under so much pressure at the moment. Is this meeting helpful or is it going to be a distraction?
Well, Merkel and Macron may not always see eye to eye, but they do get on very well. And I think we'll see real important signs of unity at the moment, because these are two leaders that really could do with a friend at the moment. This solidarity between them will be very important. They're both suffering in their respective governments domestically. They're both suffering from mutiny in the ranks of their respective governments. And they're both suffering in the polls of their respective countries. The French electorate questioning whether the young Macron really is the revolutionary president he promised to be. Whereas here in Germany, the German electorate really starting to get tired of over 12 years of a slow, pragmatic Merkel policy and politics. And she's losing out support to fringe parties, promising more dynamic politics, the Green Party, the left-wing party, and also, of course, the far-right party, the Alternative for Germany. And here, this really centres around the issue of migration. In fact, the Alternative for Germany, as of yesterday, now polling higher than Angela Merkel's Conservatives in the former eastern states of Germany, where their strong anti-migrant message has really got a strong hold there. So migration going to be a key issue that Merkel and Macron really need to discuss today. But as I said, they're both having a tough time at home, and we're used to seeing the French-German motor really being the driving force of politics in Europe, and it really does seem to be spluttering a bit at the moment.